Last time on MakeShift, we sorted out a ton of auto crafting and logistics stuff over at the new Monarch Industrial Facility. We talked through a lot of the mechanics involved with setting up factory gauge networks and how I've decided to bypass the use of frog ports in favor of something that's a little quicker. And we finished off the episode by building up the first building of the cyberpunk city. And today we kick it off by transferring the items from my old storage room using our brand new train. Hey y'all, welcome back to Place Create on the MakeShift SMP. I'm coming at you from my workshop, where I have just gathered up all the materials I think I'm going to need to get started on some of the roads around here. Ooh, I'm going to go sleep. We're kicking off today by paving a bunch of roads. I made up a roller contraption that allows me to pave roads with 5 block wide lanes on either side, and I originally laid these out with 4, so we're doing a little remodeling as well as finishing up a bunch of new roads. See, today we're going to be using these roads to transfer items because in the previous episode, we built up that brand new skyscraper. It's beautiful, but I want to put some farms, I think, inside it. And the most sensible thing to farm when you start createmod is cobblestone. Okay, so the ramps are done, but I think this must be like an April Fool's thing. Everything is coppery now. Not the mobs, but like my hotbar's coppery. Everything's named coppery stuff. Like, look at the fire. The fire is coppery. Like, what the heck? Oxidized copper grass block, right? Slightly weathered copper short grass, exposed copper firework, but like also it's the create components too, like weathered copper schematic cannon. They have updated textures for April Fool's specifically. That's hilarious. I love that, but not all of them for some reason. I don't know. Kind of goofy, but it's also going to change the way this next portion of the video is going to look. I don't know how to combat that, but yeah, just kind of goofy. I've been really busy over on Project V, new skin, and yeah, well, I've talked about it in the previous videos and stuff, but this is kind of the only day that I have to really work on MakeShift this week, so sorry, this is gonna look a little bit goofy, but look at these nice new roads. I like them. Now, we're going to get the outside of the facility decorated up nicely. But first and foremost, I want to get some real cobble work set up over in our brand new tower. And oh my God, it looks atrocious with these textures. Oh, the mountains look terrible. Everything looks terrible. It's so orange. What did you do to my tower? Whatever. We're going to go get set up inside the tower here, and I want to get like a sort of a faux interior set up because I want to actually start producing cobblestone in this tower, and I want to process that cobblestone here as well. I'm thinking up at the very top of this tower, we produce the cobblestone, and then we have gravity take care of it by dropping it down a level to get processed into sand and gravel, and then down a level to get processed into soul sand and scoria, and then drop down a level to get processed into anything else we want, maybe like quartz and stuff like that. And we've got more than enough space here. This thing is fairly large. God, I don't know how to get past this. It's so coppery. It's so coppery. But let me get a quick interior, at least here on this floor level. Whoosh. And yeah, just like that, we have a brand new sort of interior over here at the new tower. So I decided to go ahead and throw in some of this nice layered basalt all around the place. And I've gone ahead and set up some new doors. And I'm using the same style doors that I used before. And these guys are on minecart contraptions. And I have pistons here pushing a redstone block back and forth. God, it is so hard to tell that it's that though. They're doing two things. They're actually powering these 2 rails on the interior here. If I kind of go inside and free cam here, you can see that this one is a controller rail. And this one over here is actually just a normal powered rail. And the funny thing about these is that if one of these is powered, the other one won't be powered, even though normally whenever you stack powered rails together, they would connect and the redstone power would get transferred. So that makes these kind of toggleable. So I do controller rail on this side and then powered rail on this side. And then the redstone block being pushed back and forth not only makes the sound of like a door opening, it also gives the opportunity to toggle the redstone. So it closes and opens the door. So the only thing I need now is something to detect the player whenever it's nearby. And for that, I think I'm going to use a skull sensor, but I'm completely out of sculk sensors. So we're going to have to do a quick little trip on down to the deep dark to grab some sculk sensors and probably some amethyst. I think I'm like completely out of that. I helped Case out with a bunch of amethyst related stuff whenever we were setting up those blaze cores. They're very expensive and I'm pretty sure he completely cleaned me out. But just to briefly kind of showcase what this thing actually looks like, I can go ahead and manually close those pistons and we get this nice like double door, and it's actually a 3 wide, so you can do it in the middle of an odd numbered build, which I think is kind of nice. And essentially these are just copycat bites, and I do a connected texture window in between them, and all around the outside those are supposed to look like copper normally, like normal copper, not this I swear it'll look different once this stupid thing... I'm actually seriously considering changing my system information so that it thinks that it's not April Fool's anymore. That's how annoying this is. But in addition to that, I also got all these walls decorated up with at least something to make some sort of interior. And then I went ahead and laid out this area here for an elevator shaft that can go up to the upper levels. I can also use that elevator shaft to send power up to the upper levels. Kind of a killing two birds with one stone thing again. I happen to know exactly where Deep Dark is because I practically live on top of one. Aha. Prepare yourselves. Aha. God, these look so cursed. Oh my god, the lava even... Oh. And honestly, that's probably more than enough for now. I don't think I need a ton of these. Yeah, there's one of these right there. I knew there was one in this city. Aha. Give me stuff. What are you? Amethyst cluster. I think that's the one I need. And then I guess I can just grab a bunch of this and we'll just grind this down into the amethyst that I need. And we're out. And with those new amethyst clusters and these, I can go ahead and craft up a few of these. And I've just received word that there's a fix for this horrible, horrible resource pack thing. Oh. Oh. Oh, thank God. Oh, yeah, now we can actually get a real idea of how this is actually going to look. But if I get back inside here, how about this? Okay. Ooh, and I'm going to need to pulse extend these. Also, is the sound of the piston reactivating this? I might have to block the pistons there. Pulse extended, and I can go ahead and fill this back in. So I was kind of going for like a motion detection thing, like the door opens whenever you're nearby. So now it won't pick me up on the outside around here. I can do like a chipped version of this or a different color or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Right now I just wanted this door to be functional, and it is. So I went ahead and actually ran some power up underneath the streets here, kind of where our temporary power was running before, but I've added these chain conveyors to the bottom sides of these roads. And apparently this is now a haven for creepers. But I've cleared out the ones that went along here temporarily, and now the last temporary one is this one over here. But running this power underneath the roads allows me to do something crucial. I can now run power inside the building via chain conveyor from right about here. In my toolboxes, I can grab out a chain, connect it to here, clear out a little bit of space, and I can attach up a new chain conveyor where the elevator shaft is going to sit. I know I'm going to have the shaft run up directly in this corner, so I can place my chain conveyor right here. Or actually, no. I'm going to place my chain conveyor like back here a ways. And then I'll attach it to a rotation speed controller, and that way I can have the 256 speed in the entirety of the building. And I'll likely be able to do something pretty similar to this for every building that we put inside the city. Now I just got to run the shaft upstairs, install a new elevator pulley, and maybe make a stop with encased chain drives at each floor so that we can pull power without changing the direction. I am going to have to figure out something for this corner because technically you can see the outside, but I think I might just bite the bullet and encase this in like copper casing perhaps so that it matches the orange at least a little bit. How does that look from the outside? I mean, it's visible, but in the grand scheme of things, it's as hidden as it's gonna get. And it allows me to maximize the amount of space that I'm actually able to use inside the tower, which I think is probably for the best. And now I can attach my elevator pulley to there. All right, that looks like a somewhat functional. It might look a little bit off center with this door situation the way it is, but I want to just test this out and see if it'll work. If I fly back up to the top here, right click with an empty hand, it needs a redstone contact attached to the structure. Of course it does. I'm stupid for forgetting that. All right, and now we should be able to connect. So the door looks a little bit goofy. Passing through that, I might end up swapping that somehow. Or we'll just have to do a door on this face right here. Now, I don't think you need to watch me install a bunch of floors and a bunch of elevator contacts because you've kind of already seen me do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get those installed and I'll bring you back whenever I'm done. All right, and now that we have floors on each of these levels, we can go all the way up to the very topmost floor, which is level 6, and we can go ahead and start installing our cobblestone generators. And I have a very specific one in mind. This is actually the same cobblestone generator I used to form my glass production facility whenever I built the Nether Hub. In the Dreams and Desires mod, they give us these hydraulic presses, which gives us a few unique recipes. specifically ones for basalt, netherrack, cobblestone, calcite, ochrum, crimsite, viridium, and azurine, as well as a few others. Ooh, I kind of forgot about this one actually. It allows you to make stone as well, but you just have to heat a blaze burner beneath it. Maybe I'll have to install one of those over here as well. But in order to make this cobblestone generator work, I need a few things, specifically lava and water. Water is easy enough. On the topmost portion of this schematic, we have water sources up here, and the pumps in the middle are pumping water to both the hydraulic press and the basin down below. I also have pipes running along the bottom in order to fill these with lava as well, but the lava is going to have to come from somewhere else. In case you didn't know, I don't have any lava over here. Not really. I have the train, which is set to pick up lava and drop it off, but currently there's no way for me to actually drop off that lava, and it'll drop it off way over here at the Monarch facility. Actually in the train yard on the opposite side of the Monarch facility. So it's not really close enough to pump all the way over here, which is why we made the roads. But first things first, let's go ahead and get this thing schematiced into the world. This cobblestone generator does not lag nearly as much as the normal create one does. So I don't really have to worry so much about these causing a bunch of FPS drain, or at least I hope not. I'll start with one for now and we'll see how fast it fills up a vault. Now that we've popped the schematic into our schematic cannon, I can go ahead and check and see what we need. Looks like we're about 16 short on the hydraulic presses and a bunch short on vaults and things. And now that we have the full cobblestone generator in place, with water filled up on the top, I can go ahead and go over here, grab out some of this power, and send it on across here. And now all of this should be rotating the correct direction, and we should have the belt on the inside here, sending all the items over to this funnel here. The last thing we're going to need is lava, and that we can send via pipe. And the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm like, maybe I should just send the lava up through the elevator shaft here, and then I should just like shrink down the size of the elevator. Yeah, that's probably for the best. I can have in this corner maybe my buffer storage, and then we'll pipe the lava over to the elevator shaft like right through the wall here. I'm definitely going to need some more pipes though. While I'm over here at my other base, I might as well go ahead and make up a bunch of extra tanks, set up a portable fluid interface, and we should set up a quick stop here where we can actually drop off the lava. Don't mind this here. This is just where all of the items from my old storage room is currently sitting. This will go away very soon. I think what I want to do is, now that I'm done with this, I think I can actually remove that bit, and actually I think I can remove all of this. Yeah, I'm going to leave all of that here because I do still have to get the items into my storage room, but I'm going to go ahead and grab the name of this train station here, copy. I'm going to grab this train station, bring it back to around here-ish, rename this to that, remove the old station, and when the train pulls up to here, we'll get an idea of where the portable fluid interface needs to sit so that we can actually start offloading the lava. In the meantime, while I wait for the train to move over here, I can dig down below this thing and kind of start running pipe. Luckily, I have a bunch of space down here. And here it arrives. Nope, nope, nope. Give me that. And that should allow us to start actually offloading the lava. Nice. Now that lava is officially over here at the Monarch Industries facility, or at least the train yard beside it, I can set up a truck that goes from our parking lot distribution area over here along our roadway, and I can have it park up next to this building here where we can actually offload lava. And that's how I'm going to be sending it over here. I'm going to need this truck to carry a lot of lava, and we'll get that built up here in a few minutes. And I know it kind of seems counterintuitive to send the stress right there, only to have the lava come through right here, because I'm going to have to end up doing stuff like this. But it's just kind of the best I can do with what I got kind of situation. And that should get the lava all the way up to the top floor. Whew. I know we don't actually have the cobblestone generator set up yet, but I mean, that's pretty much everything done within this for at least cobblestone. Now, Now we run a bunch of track, a new kind of track, a different kind of track, narrow gauge track. Or is it called rails? Wait, no, it's track. Okay, whew. What am I doing? I'm leaving my storage room behind. Now, a few episodes back, we got these modules set up over here, and we can use these two lines of deployers and presses to make different kinds of tracks. This one here makes regular track, and this one here should make narrow gauge track. It cuts stone in half, and with those stone slabs, it deploys one iron nugget and then presses it. I am realizing now, though, that I don't think I ever set this up as a factory gauge. Yep, definitely didn't. By copying this address that I have here, depowering that, I can now accept new packages to be offloaded right here. And that's how we're going to be making the track. It's kind of like having a frog port system, but if you want to know more about the system that I've made here with my instant package delivery, you can go check out some of my previous episodes. I'll leave them linked in the top right-hand corner. I can go ahead and paste that same address down here, and now I can request a threshold of like 8 stacks. The iron nuggets are replenished automatically, so I don't have to worry about those, but I should see a package get exported over here, and we should get some stone cut right here any moment. Oh, it's literally happening right now. Uh-oh. It's not pressing. Uh-oh. 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 Can I take a bunch of these incomplete tracks and then just throw them on a press? No. That doesn't seem to want to work. Okay, so after a quick Google, I have found out that these are, well, they're the wrong kind. Apparently you need to saw the items again. So I need to saw it one time to make it into, well, hold on. Let me just, okay, so I need to do that. Remove this front vault, remove that, throw these away. Another saw here. I need to set the filter there, and then I need to resaw that same thing again. I don't know how to set the filter for this one, so... Ow, ow, ow. Okay, now I'm officially creating narrow gauge track. Weird. And with the production of narrow gauge track up and running, I can finally start pulling some of these out, and we can start laying some track out on our roadways. And the method I usually use whenever I'm trying to make trucks work with like invisible bogies or bogies that I'm placing underneath the ground, I usually lay my tracks out on the surface first, grab a schematic of the area, and then I move that schematic down a few blocks into the world and have it replace blocks below. That way I'm not having to do any digging. It makes my life a whole lot easier. Now, it doesn't always work for curves. A lot of the time I'll have to go in and place those in manually myself, so some digging is required, but it's not something I have to set up a whole contraption to dig a bunch of holes for. Now, one thing I haven't actually figured out is if these slopes are going to work with narrow gauge tracks. I'm hoping that if I maximize these turns and I place these in the correct location, they should kind of even out. And that's already not looking great. What I might have to end up doing is backing this up a couple blocks, or I'm gonna have to put in some sort of like midway point. And as long as I'm maximizing these turns, these should mellow out the slope a little bit. Like so. It's gonna have like some sort of bumps in there, but it should allow me to get quite a bit closer than I was before. That might be as close as I can get this thing. And you can kind of start to see the plans that we're going to end up laying out. Now, our trucks are going to be driving on the right-hand side because I'm American. And this will be our exit. Eventually, I want to have like a nice big gate here. And we're going to do a big fence and wall structure that goes all the way around the outside of this facility. And I think I am going to have this kind of go in one way. So when the trucks come in, they're going to come in right here as well. Or at least when they come in from the city, they'll be coming in from here. We'll have the gate end up somewhere around about here. And from here, I'll do a big right-hand turn into the main parking lot. Some of these trucks will likely be semis or large dump trucks or something like that, so I want to make sure they got lots of space to turn if I can help it. And with a bunch of gray asphalt, I can go ahead and fill up a new, or rather, a co-opted roller. And we can have this thing fill out the rest of the parking lot. Oh my god, you guys, really? And after laying out some parking lines on the north side, I went ahead and grabbed a schematic of it, flipped it, and brought it to the south side. From there, it was pretty simple to just pave out the rest of the parking lot and start a new road that will circle the perimeter starting from the south side. And after laying out this slope here over on the kind of the east side or the west side, I don't even care. It doesn't matter. I became very frustrated because I wanted to do a sloped 45 right here because I want to go down and across the top side of the tunnel. Then I was going to have a road join up with the train yard over here. And this took forever. Just forever. These roads over here, they're just so unfun to install. And I did all this in survival. So after a very frustrating few hours, I decided, screw it, and I popped over into creative. Using things like Axiom's path tool will allow you to have stairs and slabs calculated into the slopes. I'm not a copycat slope hater, but I am still playing Minecraft, and I do want to keep to that Minecraft feeling. And using Axiom's rock tool, I went ahead and threw in some really quick textured cliffs where we can lay a road that runs right past the redstone production facility. But you know what? As frustrating as that was, I'm glad we now have plans to actually get this area laid out. And I can do it with a schematic cannon because terraforming takes a long time, guys. It takes a long time. But before we do that, RT is looking for some dripstone. And I'm pretty sure I have some dripstone. Unfortunately, it's stuck in packages inside these vaults over here. Because when the train came back by on that belt line, we dropped all those packages in a post box and sent them on over into here. Now I just need to get them from here on up into my storage. And this does not have to be permanent, which is just, those are just the best words. Those are the best words. And oh my god, we've got items going in. Now I just gotta let this run for a while. And I think that's everything. I mean, it's not pulling any more items. And there's no items in here, right? No. Which means I think we're good to go. And after a bit of finagling with the schematic and a brand new vault over here next to our terraforming project, I can go ahead and get the schematic placed in and we can grab a materials list. Now I have this set to replace solid with solid so that I can replace things like this light gray asphalt here without having to go in and break it all myself. However, that does mean I think it's going to want a lot of this to get turned into dirt because whenever I terraform, I usually place in a really, really high contrast block like diamond blocks, something that won't be found naturally at this height in the world. And it usually kills all the grass in the area, which is not. I do my best to clear that stuff up and after I've done the project, but well, it's gonna think that I need a bunch of dirt that I don't need. So let's just take a look at this materials checklist. Yeah, we can ignore this 100%. Don't need carrots, definitely don't care about coal ore, and then we can get into the actual materials we're going to require. But mostly I'm just gonna need a lot of gray asphalt, infested deep slate. Ugh, I didn't mean to do that. And a whole bunch of packed mud. And this is actually only the first segment. It goes up to about right over here. So we're going to need a lot more than these materials. So I'm going to go ahead and get these auto crafted up. Oh, and for that packed mud, we're going to need a whole lot of wheat. Guess who doesn't have a wheat farm? Okay, so I need all of your wheat, sir.
How much are we talking?
All of the wheat. Put the wheat in the bag.
Oh, okay.
I'm terraforming with packed mud, so I need like all of it, like literally all of it.
Gotcha. You can go find out.
Oh wait, you can also make it with straw too. Do you have any straw?
I have so much straw.
Oh, you do? Good. What a beautiful nether hub somebody made. Incredible.
Yeah. Anyways,
big portal.
wait for it. Big portal. That happened in this episode in the intro.
Ooh, nice. Big portal.
Yeah. So this little doohickey, oh god, I'm loading my factory in. Give me a moment.
Oh wait, I've stolen from this before. Was that recent?
Excellent.
No.
13,500 wheat and almost 12,500 straw.
Oh, wonderful. I'll take all of it. Do you have a way to package this?
Yeah. You're standing on it.
Right, but like in a way that I can actually carry off because I have like 4 inventory slots right now.
No.
Okay.
Mr. Shulker Boxman will have to afford
his own
Shulker boxes.
I have an idea for this. I have a vault that I can bring over here and just like stick all of it in the vault. Can you? What do you want for money?
I don't.
Oh, for free?
It's chunk loaded, man. If you look in the back, there's threshold switches and it just voids everything.
Oh.
So it could have been.
You're saying I didn't even have to ask?
I just don't care.
Could have got this for free.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I guess I didn't steal from this before.
Community resources. I mean, you stole from it. It's just
cool. Well, then I'll just steal all this then. Thank you.
No worries, buddy.
All right, wheat is acquired. I kind of also got the wheat seeds, but he said he didn't care, so I'm taking it. I'll just compost it into bone meal or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'll plant a massive field. No, I won't. Oh, but while I'm over here, I should also grab some dirt. Yeah, I'm gonna need all this. They've got to make a better thing to pull out items out of these UIs. Create, please. Create, please. And back over here at my facility, I can go ahead and take my new vault, the mobile vault thing, and lace it down right on top of this. And even though this has packages in it, they'll get dropped down inside here, and they'll get readdressed by these, for some reason, invisible signs. These are here. These are the pale oak signs for some reason. I don't know if it's like a resource pack order thing or what, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they get readdressed by those signs, and then they'll get put back into my system. And then from there, I can set up some factory gauges to automatically produce a ton of mud and a ton of packed mud. Woo! And I should be able to set up some factory gauges for both mud and packed mud. And we should now be producing packed mud. I'm going to stand AFK for a while, and I'll let this thing get crafted up. And after a quick little bit of material gathering and a quick AFK session, I should now have, I think, all of the materials we need. And all I should have to do is run this through here. And yeah, these are items I don't actually want placed in. Oh, I need a little bit of cut deep slate. And then I accidentally used the wrong type of deep slate whenever I was in creative mode. But I figure 117 blocks is easy enough for me to just fill in myself. Wonderful. So a little bit of cut deep slate. Ooh, I'm not going to initiate this time lapse yet. I want all three of these going at once. So I'm going to go ahead and position the other two schematics, gather the materials for those as well, and then it'll be time lapse time. Okay, so I have officially gotten all the materials that we need for each of these different segments. I went ahead and split the terraforming up into 3. It'll speed up the schematic cannoning quite a bit, and it'll also, the schematics are just not as big, so it's like easier on my PC / the server. So let's go ahead and get this area terraformed up. I'm gonna have to clear out some of these trees manually, aren't I? Let's go. Ooh, fancy new terraforming. I love it. And I also got this laid out over here. I kind of like that. It's looking pretty good. This dock, this quote-unquote dock, is gonna have to expand drastically. That is, I like how I thought that was going to be big enough. That's just honestly hilarious. But everywhere the packed mud touches is where we've installed some new terrain. It looks like I might have actually cut some of this back. Did I? Oh, I just didn't want to paste it in? Eh? Great. So I'm gonna have to do all this manually. That was the whole point of the schematics. Either way, we have roadways now, and we can at least start laying out some tracks and things. So I can actually start transferring things on these new roadways. Some of them. The ones that are complete anyway. Let's go look at the ones up here. I haven't actually checked up here yet. I want to see what this looks like. All of this is nice and flattened out. And I wanted to use packed mud because it gives it like a nice real like arid kind of feeling. Even if we cross biome borders, it's still going to look like this kind of dry, sort of deserty looking arid, you know. Oh no. Did it get any of this? Oh, it did. It's just, I gotta dig it out. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't want to replace the slabs and stairs and things with fully solid blocks. So that's annoying. Obviously, I'll still have to do the terraforming on this side over here, but I'll leave that till later on. For now, we've got roads. Where we are going, we need roads. Is that how it goes? I don't know, that movie is so old, I kind of can't remember. This has been some of the most frustrating last few hours of, well, not my life, but last few hours have been very frustrating. I've been cooking. I've gotten pretty much every single track that I want laid out, except for, oh god, I've missed an entire, okay. But the process for this has not been too bad. It's more like the process for everything else. Essentially, I keep running out of power. The power station we've built over here on the southern island is just not consistently working and has something to do with chain conveyors, unloading and reloading. We're having a lot of problems with phantom power that I just cannot combat. And of course, I'm like 10 shy. Essentially, I have chunk loaded everything and then re-chunk loaded everything and then unchunk loaded everything and re-chunk loaded everything again. And as you can see, I've like slowed everything way down in here. And I decided, just for the sake of not pulling my hair out and going insane, I've decided to do something a little bit shameful. I set up some steam engines here. I can't afford to lose any more time on this project. I've spent basically an entire day messing around with this stuff. So it's just become not worth my time anymore. It's just genuinely, in case I was not online and he's like sleeping right now, so it's not like I can bother him to fix it. Not that I should have to ask him to, because you know, he's been at it for like days and days and days. So we'll get some bugs figured out and I'll end up taking that stuff down. But just so I'm not, you know, losing hours of my life and delaying this video even further, we have that. And I believe that should be the last segment for narrow gauge rails running everywhere. As you can see, I've got them all laid out all the way around this place. Every single ramp is laid out, every single turn and curve, all the way over to here to the redstone production facility. We're eventually going to add in some more roads around this side. I'm going to probably end up taking this building and relocating it and running the road up and over to here and probably meeting up with this over here. But since I had to go ahead and install those steam engines, I went ahead and threw in some lava lines over to the main workshop. From this, I'll actually be able to load up a truck up on top of here. Originally, I was going to try and do something over here, but I mean, the lava's already over here and it's pumped kind of to this area. So I think if I just set up like a little stop somewhere in this region, I'll be able to set up a place for the train to actually stop here, or the truck, I guess, pick up a bunch of lava and send it on over to the cobblestone building. Also, the whole family is sick. I am not yet sick, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid for what's coming for me. So I'm trying to get this episode out as fast as possible. Obviously, I'm going to get the rails moved down underneath the ground here, but I also want to get the first ever city truck built up here at the base. Now, I've thrown together this as a little bit of a cross-section of what our final finished roads are actually going to look like. Essentially, on our narrow gauge tracks, we're going to have bogies that are going to sit 2 blocks tall, and then above that, we're going to have an extra 2 blocks of headspace, and that's where the road's going to sit. So all of these tracks are going to be moved down 4 blocks. I still have to go through and signal all of them, copy them into a schematic, and then move them down myself. But for now, just so we can kind of get a visual, this is what it's going to look like. And since we already have this guy up and running, I'm thinking I go ahead and build my first truck. I need this one to deliver lava, so I kind of already know that the components that I'm going to need for it, and I already happen to have a really cool truck design. You guys have already seen it before. It's the reef truck. It's the one that's driving around the shopping district right now. And I'm thinking if I use that base truck as the base design and give it a bunch of different coloring, a bunch of new details, I think we can make something that'll look pretty cool. And if I load up this schematic and don't put anything inside the copycats, I can manually give it a bunch of new colors. And after tossing all those materials into these 2 barrels right here, ooh, I should remove that, we can get the shell of this guy schematic into the world. Or I thought we could. I guess if they don't have items to go inside them, really? And I think I've got the basic shape of the truck pretty much completely marked out with copycats. So now I can take a schematic of just this guy. And if I ever want to make copies of this truck, I totally can. Also, peep the new hubcaps. We got placards, but also I went ahead and threw some of these donut lanterns from chipped into there. I think it's pretty fun. Now I'm going to give this truck the Monarch treatment. And by that, I mean I'm going to make it black. That's not bad. This looks like the truck of a company that is evil. Not bad at all. Also, peep the mud flaps. I love these mud flaps. That should be everything super glued up. And now we just got to add on the tank. And this thing is looking pretty pristine. The bogey situation, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I'm going to try and scoot this up a little bit, and hopefully that helps the turns look well, less egregious. But how good is this fuel tank, right? But one of the points of the narrow gauge rails is that you can make these really, really tight curves, which are a little bit more accurate to what you can do on a roadway. The normal rails, they just can't really pull that off. However, whenever it comes to semis specifically, doing normal rails helps this issue where you have like a complete disconnect between bogies because the curves have to be a lot wider. But I'll tweak this a little bit in between episodes and I'll see if I can get that to look a little bit cleaner. Now, one final time lapse. Oh, also, I think I said 4 blocks before, but I'm pretty sure it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. I have to move this up by 5 blocks. Or no, I have to move them down by 5 blocks. So, I'm going to try and time lapse this, but if I do time lapse it, let's go. Oh my god, you guys, so much has happened since that last clip. So much has happened. I'm so excited with the way this came out. Just ignore this right here. That was for visualization purposes, but check this out. Okay, so I did a live stream, and during that live stream, he kind of... Jeez! Christ on a cracker.
Perfect timing. I came to return these.
Thanks.
You are live, by the way.
Yeah, I figured. I saw you went live. Oh my god. But he came over and he helped me connect these 2 bogies to the same car, and that positions the pivot point right in the middle of the back of the truck, and it's kind of perfect. What we did is we put the bogie here. Obviously, we have the glass planes going up and over, and then they go directly up into the front portion of this, and that helps this quite a bit look a lot more connected. Observe. Yeah, much better, right? Ooh, I didn't realize I could go inside that wall. But I'm also kind of going on the wrong side of the road anyway, so whatever. But yeah, curves, they look a lot better now. Like, look at that. That's so much better. Come on. But that's not the only thing we accomplished. I know I said I didn't have to do any digging down below to like lay out all the rails and stuff, but I ended up doing a bunch of digging anyway, and I made this roller contraption here that clears like a 2-block tall space. That's one of the great things about rollers is that they'll clear the block at the like my head height, and also the one down below, and also the one below that, because they replace the blocks below. And I went ahead and threw in some sea lanterns on either end by changing these to like the train casing variant, and then rolled out a bunch of stone in between them. So we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone again. We get to light up the area, and now I have a walkable, workable area where I can like exist and do maintenance. And after a bit of finagling, I finally have the truck in a place where I think I can go ahead and add my portable fluid interface, which I've stuck right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and glue that right there. And once I assemble this contraption with the train station I have upstairs, this thing is gonna start filling up with lava. And then all we gotta do is give this guy a train schedule. We can go ahead and assemble, and we're filling up with lava. How much we got? Ooh, it's happening. But now all I gotta do is grab out a train schedule, give this station a proper name, fly on over to the new skyscraper, add in a train station right here, call it Tower 1 Lava Drop, and then I've just got to add a few instructions to this schedule. And we're going to wait for the cargo to idle for 30 seconds before it goes and drops off the lava at our new tower, where we're also going to wait for 30 seconds for the cargo to be inactive. I should also add a chunk loader to this guy. So that should load a 3x3 area around the truck at all times, anytime it's in contraption form. But I'm going to go ahead and add in some chunky turtles just to make sure the lava tank is loaded, as well as the lines right here. Really had to put this on a chunk border, didn't I? Just had to put it on a chunk border. And this one should be loaded by the truck itself, but I'm going to go ahead and add in a chunky turtle to this one here as well. Ooh, now we should be doing all 3. We should be offloading a bunch of lava from the train, and we should be loading up a bunch of that into there as well. Although I'm pretty sure the train offloading is way slow. Yeah, because I did it off of this. This is like 128, so it's like slower. I should add another water wheel in there. Yeah, now we should get lava as quick as possible. As you can see, I've also added some chunk loaders in over here. So everything between the train and our offload lava tank should be loaded. And we're going to need to add some more tanks to the Monarch train because, yeah. Also, I can finally stop calling it the Monarch train because I've selected a name. All you awesome commenters out there gave me some great suggestions. And I got an awesome suggestion from TinyTara6603. And we're going to be calling the train the Impermeable. Because, you know, lore-wise, the train actually doesn't have any doors. We access the stock that it transfers via teleportation, part of the Monarch tech. And with this truck, I think completely full, there's a bunch more tanks in there, so I can't really see if it's full, but with the cargo being inactive because we don't have any more lava to pump inside here, I should now be able to give the driver this schedule here, which he's the guy who's sitting in between the seats right here. Can I get up here? Yeah. Should be able to give him this, and I think he's just gonna wait for like 30 seconds before he takes off. Oh my god, it's happening. Why are we stuck? Did I miss a segment of road? Waiting for signal because of an unnamed train. What unnamed train? Is it that one? The one all the way over there? Okay, so the truck is moving on. Oh my god, it's pulling up to the spot. We're gonna miss it. Oh, it's pulled up. Is it offloading? No, of course not, because I haven't hooked up this thing yet. Okay, so here, I need to put a portable fluid interface here and pump it over to that tank. Ooh, the truck is back. I've just finished setting this up, and I'm in the wrong spot. What if I do it there? Hey, that worked. Heck, it's left. All right, and now we should get everything pumped into those lava tanks. Also, I added in a secondary lava tank right here, and I'm just having the pump pull from both. And we should now be offloading lava. Awesome. Nice. Are we also going to start pumping this upstairs? Or did I hook up that part yet? Oh yes, we have to do. And one of these. Oh my god, we can actually start generating cobblestone. It's real. It's happening. Oh my god, we're generating cobblestone. Oh, it's all going the wrong way. Why is it curving like that? Wrong way. That should help. Also, look at how much cobblestone we just generated in a matter of seconds. That was crazy. Just so I never do that again, I'm just going to throw a copycat panel right there. Just in that short span of time, 1,200 cobblestone. This thing is going to be bonkers. Now, if I'm smart about this, I can go ahead and add a clutch right here. I've removed a gearbox here that was changing the direction, and I can go ahead and just add that back by doing this. And if I go ahead and give this a lever for now, make sure that's powered off, and then add back this so we actually start pumping in the lava in. What am I cutting off the power to? Is it not? Oh, it's the power to the belt. Okay, that's fine. We can grab that out, throw that back in there so the belt continues to move. And then if I want to power off this farm, I can actually do it from here. That way everything stops and we save ourselves that much FPS. And we'll do a quick little threshold link to make sure we're not going to overflow. Now that I've added an orange terracotta brick, which is what a good portion of this build was made out of, to the redstone link here, I can go ahead and send that signal right up to the top here, where we have our clutch, and whenever that reaches a certain amount, basically full, it'll go ahead and turn off the power to the entire thing. Ah, and now I don't have to hear that whenever I'm up here. As much as I would love to do more work with the cobble works in this building, this episode is getting incredibly long. So I think that's where I'm going to have to call it. We got a bunch of new floors installed in this here building. We've added our brand new cobblestone generator, which absolutely cooks when it comes to production. I'm already up to 430 stacks. We terraformed a ton of land over on the north side of the Monarch facility. We laid a ton of rail, and now we have actual roadways that we can use. And the cherry on top is that we have a brand new fuel hauler. So now anytime something needs lava in the city, we can use that same truck. It's so cool. Or better yet, we can have a fleet of trucks to do that. But at any rate, I appreciate you so much for watching. If you like the video, like it. And if you want to subscribe, you should do it. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya. Also, peep the lowlights. It's kind of hard to tell from far away, but I actually used white loco metal up top and then light gray down below, so it actually looks like there's a shadow. If you're not looking close enough at it, it literally just looks like a shadow. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool.